So today we've learned the importance of, and really the quickest way to build and maintain your data pipeline with Trifacta. And then we learned how you can leverage Incorda's direct data platform to accelerate the speed of insight at your organization. From there, Rob just shared with us how to transition from data to decisions with planning analytics. What we're now going to do is discuss the one solution that most of our guests today are likely already familiar with, Cognos Analytics. And today I'm joined by Rachel Sue, Offering Manager for IBM Cognos Analytics. Now, Rachel's going to demonstrate how an enterprise front-end reporting application like Cognos fits into this large puzzle. Before that, though, we have an introduction from IBM's Vice President of Offering Management, David Marmer.
Hi, my name is David Marmer, and I'm the Vice President of Offering Management for Cognos Analytics, Planning Analytics, and RegTech portfolios at IBM. I want to thank you for the time to listen to me today and share some of the thoughts that I had. I really want to take a moment to share with you our vision and our strategy for Cognos Analytics in particular. We want to ensure that people always feel they can do more with their data. So many of our problems exist today because we're at a limit to what we can understand. We have data, matter of fact, we have lots of data, and we have it in many places, but it's not just about making it easier to access that data, it's really about making it easier to find valuable insights within that data to help you guide your decisions and ultimately better outcomes. And we've been hearing this consistently from our clients and our partners. We hear also given the kind of economic climate we're in, we're seeing additional pressures. First and foremost, tomorrow's not yesterday. The world has really fundamentally changed, and the expectations of decision making go along with it. Faster pivots are now needed, and that requires a whole different sets of data, accelerated time to insights, and more collaborations across different business units. And there's a serious risk in the cost of multiple tools. All the economic pressures that are starting to happen are really driving new decisions on the cost of analytics and on the lifetime value of these analytics. And customers are now streamlining the vendors to fewer choices and looking for alternative licensing and deployment models, such as cloud deployment, multi-cloud deployment, or moving to subscription licensing. There's also still a heavy dependency on IT. So many companies are hoping to scale their analytics culture, but they're really blocked by this heavy reliance on IT to provide access to the data, to the tools, and to other sources of insights to get this much needed information into the people that are closest to the decisions. Now, all of these are unmet needs, and they really represent a unique value for the analytics and BI market. And at IBM, we're very confident in our ability to rise to the challenge. Our mission with Cognos Analytics is to enable people to leverage analytics to reframe how they go about solving problems. Asking questions and exploring possible futures, to be receptive of suggestions powered by AI, and feel empowered to link data, models, and insights to the business problems they're meant to solve and the decisions they're meant to inform. It isn't just about seeing data, it's about applying insights found within your data to drive action, make decisions, and strategically plan for the future. So we believe that the next generation of analytics and BI tools can empower every business to do more with their data. We believe that there's three key things that need to be found in the tools of the future. One, a co-pilot for business users to make decisions more quickly and confidently. When you consider a post-pandemic world where business leaders need to act quickly and analyze different scenarios, they need to look beyond historical data to augment their decision making. We also believe a trusted, secure, and governed multi-cloud for analytics environment needs to be there to scale and integrate with the systems of record. Reducing risk and cost from seamless experiences scales to support any size business and complexity. You need to have enhanced value with a fully integrated ecosystem that goes far beyond BI, taking advantage of data science, robotic process automation, data virtualization, planning, data cataloging, etc. And you need everything you need to be really in one place, an all-inclusive analytics experience that really meets the needs of a diverse set of users in a modern business culture that has to be able to support any use case and thrives on the collaboration and flexibility to compose the desired analytics capabilities to solve complex problems. Now, this has been a driving force of innovation at Cognos Analytics, and our vision is to become the co-pilot for a smarter business. So what does it mean to be the co-pilot for a smarter business? I'm going to use the analogy of a co-pilot of a rally race car. Their sole purpose is to guide the driver to make better decisions, to make them faster and smarter, and enable them to see further down the course, and most importantly, feel confident in the insights they gain and act upon as they turn, accelerate, and brake. This is why we've been making significant investments in embedding AI capabilities into every aspect of Cognos Analytics to accelerate the productivity and effectiveness of the user. From enabling them with no-code driver detection, what-if analysis, and predictive forecasting, to creating dynamic data stories with natural language and eliminating blind spots with automated insights, we're elevating analytics with the power of AI in an integrated experience to find insights faster, make smarter decisions, and act with confidence of knowing you're ready for anything. We don't take this responsibility lightly. We're supporting over 6,500 customers and more than 24 million active users all over the world. Not only is our footprint global, it also varies in scope and size. We have customers with tens of users, some with hundreds of users, many with thousands of users, and some with even hundreds of thousands of users. So it's no wonder why 64 of the Fortune 100 companies depend on Cognos Analytics to run their business. And our legacy and continuity continue to grow. In the past 12 months alone, we've acquired over 700 net new customers looking to scale and mature their analytics cultures with access to enterprise reporting and insights they can act upon. And with the introduction of Cognos Analytics on demand, people can now access the full power of Cognos Analytics for about the same price as a monthly Netflix account. So supporting simple to complex use cases, varying levels of expertise, and ever-increasing demands to optimize the use of their data, we work closely with our customers and research teams to help us identify, design, and deliver new capabilities and innovations. Our recent efforts and investments are not just under the hood. We've taken our message to the market with heavy investments in brand awareness campaigns, with targeted messaging that positions Cognos Analytics as the most relevant BI solution to address business problems that people face today. We've had paid media, we've had paid search, digital engagement, and virtual conferences that are helping us find new audiences by engaging in ways we haven't done before. Even our Analytic Heroes programs are inspiring a new generation of data explorers to learn about Cognos Analytics. And IBM's commitment to revitalize the Cognos brand is evident in strong support we've received from our own leadership, such as Daniel Hernandez, as well as through our product as a strategic offering in other big investments such as Cloud Pak for Data. With the support, investments in Cognos Analytics in coming months will be made in these 5 development themes, allowing us to add more user value and address the critical agendas that clients require for their ongoing continuity. The first is automated insights and effortless exploration to empower everyone with AI-assisted decision workflow. The second is collaborate, consume, and customize to improve adoption across the entire organization. The third is govern self-service that adapts to your business requirements and protects your data from misuse. The fourth is scale and integrate advanced analytics and data science into your daily operations to seize new opportunities. And the fifth is cloud and consolidate to modernize and maximize your analytics investments. We believe these are 5 critical areas that we can actually differentiate from the competition and allow us to bring more value to our customers in how they exploit data to make actionable decisions faster and with more confidence. I want to thank you all for your continued commitment to IBM Cognos Analytics, and we look forward to hearing of your successes in the future.
Excellent. Thank you, David, for preparing that video for us. With that done, we'll go ahead and bring in Rachel Sue now. And Rachel's going to be sharing a demonstration with us, walking us through Cognos Analytics and sharing a little bit about her role with IBM.
So, hi everyone. I am honored to have this opportunity to give you a presentation of Cognos Analytics in partner with our one of our greatest partner, PM Square. So it's an honor. My name is Rachel Sue. I'm a senior offering manager for Cognos Analytics. Been with IBM Cognos for about 14 years. Being worked in different areas of the product as well. So what I have prepared today is a live demo, showcase everything they've just mentioned. That's a joke. It will take me days. So given the time we have today, I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes or a little bit less. Hopefully I can save some time for Q&A to highlight key capabilities within Cognos Analytics. I know some people are having issue with their webcam, with seeing the webcam. So what I'm going to do actually is to stop sharing my webcam because I want to save some network bandwidth for the actual live demo. Make sure it's smooth. Go ahead and then share my screen. I believe it is shared. If not, please stop me and let me know.
Yep, it's working great, Rachel. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. So like Dave mentioned, all the answer you need in one place, and that's what Cognos Analytics offers. Today, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of data module, which is our web-based data modeling tool. and create a dashboard really quickly to show you all the key capabilities the dashboard can offer. And dashboard is the component that we focus on self-service. And from there, I'm going to show you how AI can help you to discover insights, to help you to provide actionable insights. I'm also going to show the improvements we've done in our enterprise reporting that supports complex queries, all the distributions through bursting, sending your report output to tens of thousands of users, running tens of thousands of reports concurrently. We support all kinds of things through our enterprise reporting capability. I'm not going to spend too much time on data module today because I know there is going to be a deeper dive session tomorrow on day 2 of the conference, focusing on data module and data set. The data set is our data extraction technology that allows you to cache subset of data for faster performance. It uses a sparse SQL technology to help processing the data. It's aimed at giving better performance. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a data module. So data module, like I mentioned, it is our web-based data modeling tool, and I'm going to pick a couple data modules that were already created for me. And today we're using Incorda as the data source. And to Cognos, Incorda looks just like Postgres database. Let's pick a couple things here. In talking about data modules, we've actually done a lot of improvements in the last few releases I want to just mention. And you're going to hear me say this a lot, is that I want to make sure I mention some of the new features that have been put into the product in the last few releases. You can't assume everyone knows everything that's out there today. So in terms of data module, we've released the 454 retail calendar. So these are simple calendars that you can bring into your data module by going through add new data sources and go locate the calendar samples. We've had physical and Gregorian calendars for a few releases. The retail 454 calendar is a new one. Those calendars allow you to easily add relative date into your data with your time dimension. So if you have a timetable, we can automatically quickly create relative dates such as prior year, current month, year to date, a lot of these things that you no longer have to manually create. So what I'm doing right here is to create a new data module using multiple data modules someone else modeled for me. Our data module solution is very flexible. You can see a lot of information from data module or tables that's already modified or cleaned up for me by someone else, or I can create those from scratch. Like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on data module today because there will be a deeper dive session tomorrow on this subject. We've also just released a set of data module APIs with the latest release of 11.1.7 FP1. That's going to allow you to programmatically make a lot of modifications of your data module. So that is also a very exciting new feature. And that is so new, I think it's only a few days old. So next, let's go ahead and start creating dashboard. I'm going to use this data module I just created and create a new dashboard. When you're creating new dashboard, there are some created samples out of the box sample templates that we ship with the product. One of the newer features we recently added is the ability for you to save a dashboard as a template, and that's going to show up from the screen where I was. And you can see the UI have changed a little bit in the last couple of releases. We've changed where things are based on a newer design guideline. I'm going to go ahead and make the filter panel disappear, but you can see the filter dock can be initiated at the top, properties, fields, these are all at the top right corner now. So let's go ahead, create a dashboard. How does someone create a dashboard? It is so easy. Some people have told me that even my manager can create a dashboard now in Cognos. It sounds like that's a bad joke, but that's how people feel. This tool we have focused so much on helping users to be able to create content quick and fast without having to go through lots of training or no training at all. Right, let's say if I want to just look at some high-level numbers, because I've chosen a template, I can easily drag and drop data from the left-hand side, which is what we call the data source tree or a metadata tree. You've heard many different terms. So I can drag this and then just place them onto the canvas. A visual that will be best used to represent data I've chosen will be automatically created for me. I don't have to know what kind of visualizations I have to use. I don't have to be a visualization expert. And if I'm selecting more, let's say comparing some measures with additional data, and drag that, drop that to the canvas. And again, because I'm using a template, if I place it in the middle of that blue square, it's going to expand the visualization and fill that whole space. So here, a combination chart is created for me because I'm comparing multiple measures on different categories. We have made improvements to our combination chart in the last release, where we actually allow you to have separate measures, separate categories for line and column. And it doesn't have to be line column. It could be line and bar. It could be stack column. It could be stack bar. Let's say if I want to also color the column by year, I can drag and drop here. And you can see it's going to become a clustered column with line. So there are many different combinations that I can use with this new combination chart now. Now it truly is a combination chart. So if you didn't know what kind of visualization you want to use and you want to see what the system, what AI suggests based on the data, what we think is the best visual to represent the data, think about that you have a visualization expert assistant helping you to build this dashboard. And that is how we want you to feel. However, if you know exactly what you need to display, you have specific requirements, you can go to the visualization gallery on the left-hand side and specifically pick something. Let's say I want to pick a KPI widget here. Right, this is a KPI visualization. And right away, the right-hand side, the fields area is going to pop open because you have to tell us what you want to use to fill up this visualization. Now, I was dragging and drop for the previous visualization. I know everyone has this giant monitor now, that your monitor is so big, dragging something from left all the way to the right could take a long time. We're making it easier by allowing you to do a type in place. Right. So you can just go ahead and type, and we'll tell you what is the which table has the item that you're looking for. Let's say the base value, I want to use revenue because I want to have a KPI widget to help me to compare base and target. So the target value would be planned revenue, and I don't have to type the entire thing. I can just leave it like that, and it's going to automatically fill it for me. And I can, if I'm adding this over time, you can see what we're creating here is we're creating the indicator, the comparison, we're calculating the difference, and we're also adding the, if I can spell quarter, we're also adding the spark line at the bottom if you also included time as part of this KPI. Right? And from here, what I always tell customer is that when you're creating widgets like KPI or having some high-level information on dashboards, people would only spend a second looking at these data. If you're creating something for the executives, they don't have a lot of time to really doing the manual calculation. All they want to see is what's the percentage, and then what's the number, is it going up or it's going down? You want to use an abbreviation to make sure they're not counting the digits, right? And very simply, you can format your data through just a couple simple clicks and to create a KPI widgets like this. And not only that, I know we've automatically calculated the percentage is down, we highlight it in a different color. That's all customizable here. The scale can be customized to specific number, right? And you can change the rules, and you can change the indicator color, even the shape of the indicator. A lot of things that's customizable here as well for you. So far that was pretty easy. I hope everyone's following. It's really just drag and drop or type in, right? It is very easy. But we have even more options to help you to create a good looking dashboard. So what we're gonna do next is I'm going to leverage our AI assistant. This is the AI assistant that supports natural language. You can ask the system using natural language, and the system can respond with natural language. The system can respond with the visualization to answer a question. And here, it even suggests me what are the things I can ask. Create dashboard, it is a very interesting, it's a very interesting feature. So I know I'm manually creating this dashboard, and I'm gonna continue doing that, but just to show you how easy it is, a dashboard can be created. All I had to do is say create dashboard to the AI assistant, and the AI assistant is going to start analyzing data, picking all the data that's interesting, and create a dashboard for me with different visualizations, different data. So someone, creating dashboard, if you didn't have a good idea of what you really wanted to present, or even if you know that you want to focus on a few data, let's say I want to create a dashboard specific for the sales for this year. What are some of the visuals I can use? What are some other type of data that I can use in combination with sales? You may not right away know exactly the type of dashboard you want to create. And I find myself many times, I would start here actually by using create dashboard. I could say create dashboard using a revenue, right? And then it's going to focus on that data I picked and create a dashboard for me. And from me here, I can steal a lot of ideas. And that's what I've been doing. So let's go ahead and go back to the dashboard that we were actually working on. So for this dashboard, I'm going to next use AI assistant to create something focusing on what you can see as I'm typing, there are suggestions for me. I can say revenue by month, maybe colored by retailer type. So the AI assistant is going to look at the data and create the best visual for me. There are different options I can choose, right? I can select a different visualization type if I didn't like the first one that was suggested. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use this line chart, and I'll place it in the middle of this template again. So this is a line chart created for me. And from here, I can add additional information. For example, this is the forecasting option. And you can see here that when I just enabled that, I'm able to get forecasted information displayed on my line chart. I can also take a look at the details behind this forecasting. So here, I just pulled up the data tray from the bottom. It's showing me the visualization data and which data module the data is taken from, which table, and the forecasting statistical details. Here is going to show me what kind of statistic models being used, how the forecasting is being calculated. So if someone's challenging me, if I want to know the details, if this can be trusted, I have all that information in front of me. We've also added the feature to allow you export visualization data. So sometimes someone creating a visualization, or myself creating a visualization, I like it, but I also want to know the detailed data behind it. You can export data now from the visualization from the data tray. Now, this forecasting information isn't just available for line chart. It is available for column as well as bar chart. It is available for multiple series, like you can see right here in front of you. I know a lot of other products can only support one chart type, or it only works on one series. Most of the vendors don't support seasonality in their forecasting calculation. So we're doing a lot more in the way that we've implemented forecasting. Right. This forecasting option is not just available as a authored option. As a consumer, as a dashboard consumer, I have the option to easily toggle this as well at a consumption time. It's not like once my author has logged it in, I can't do anything anymore. No, for our dashboard, everything is very interactive, and we allow the consumption experience to be very much similar to authoring, giving the users a lot of power and flexibility. Next, I'm going to include a crosstab in this dashboard. That is a very popular widget visualization containing just lines of rows of records. And if I didn't place it in the middle of that template blue square, it's going to appear right here as a default size, where you can easily change it and move it around and line them up. You can see we have the green ruler help you to line things up. And let's fill it up with some information. For the crosstab, let's use a retailer country maybe. We don't want too many, actually for columns, I think for rows we'll do retailer country. And for columns, we're going to do year. And we'll add quantity for value. And here, this is a crosstab that we have been continuously improving release to release since 11.1.4. So 11.1.4 is was the first release we introduced this crosstab. It's much more compact. It uses the space better. As a user, you can freely change. You can change the width or the height of rows directly on the crosstab. You can also directly nest things on the crosstab or replace it. So there's indicator helping you to do that. You can see the column headers and rows are all freeze by default. So when you're moving your bars horizontally, or if you have lots of rows moving it vertically, you can see the top header or the left-hand side is stay in place, so you can always know the context. It's very easy to use this crosstab. What I can also do, and this is a new feature as well, is what I can do is to select a field and create conditional color. So I can create conditional color using right now a measure, which is quantity, and I can change scale to percentage or numeric. It's very similar to our KPI widget. For the KPI widget, of course, we automatically did it for you when you're trying to compare an actual versus target. Whereas for crosstab, you can manually create, let's say, since we're having that down from the revenue, let's create something greater to see some green arrows. That's much happier indicator. So I'd say if anything is above 400,000, I want it to show green and have an up arrow as the indicator. And as soon as I created this, and you can see, let me just make some more room for this. You can see the indicators is added and the text formatted. And that's all you need to do to create some conditional coloring. You can absolutely change the indicator, the color, the background color, the fill color, a lot of things you can modify. You can create multiple conditions. You can combine conditions here. I've just done a simple condition here for you, but there are a lot more you can do with this. All right, so another thing I want to show you that's quite interesting is called what if analysis. Anyone familiar with what if? A lot of customers know what if analysis, and we've been telling customers what if analysis is a key capability feature with planning analytics, which is true. What we've done here is to bring a simple what if analysis extension into the product. So through this little widget, what you will be able to do is to, through machine learning, for us to build a model on the fly. So let's say maybe I want to play around what kind of quantity I need to sell in order to hit my planned revenue target, because obviously this KPI was showing me I was not hitting my target. So let's see what kind of quantity, how much do I have to sell in order to hit the target. What I need to do here is to click create model. And then through this process, it will take a few minutes because everything done, this whole calculation is currently being done on the browser side. It's using browser resources instead of being done on the Cognos server. So it really depends on how much things I'm running on the browser right now, how much resources I have on my machine, which I'm currently just using a little laptop. So it could take a couple minutes. Now, another thing is that I don't have to only include one input column. I could play around by including a lot more, such as maybe product cost, to see how much product cost I have to reduce, or things like unit price. So how much should I increase the price in order to hit my target, which is not necessarily the right thing to do. But with a combination of different measures, if I can play around with, this is going to help me to understand how I may be able to hit my target. Okay. And this is right now done through an extension that you can download from our accelerator catalog. But going forward, we want to extend this capability to enable users to be able to publish this directly into a planning analytics data source, to use it as a start point for more advanced scenario modeling. And we also support a lot of other type of advanced scenario modeling or forecasting calculations. We have an integration with Jupyter Notebook, where data science can use their familiar IDE, which is Jupyter Notebook, through R or Python, with many libraries that's available, and create visual that can be included as part of the dashboard or report output, and or augment data that's stored within Cognos and then push that augmented data directly into Cognos. Through this whole process, you do not have to leave Cognos. You get authenticated with Cognos, you come inside, and you go to the plus sign and create a Jupyter Notebook, just as if you're creating a data module or creating a dashboard. While we're waiting for that, I just flipped to the our accelerators catalog. I mentioned that what if analysis, that widget is available as an extension. So you can download the extension here at the accelerator catalog and have the administrator upload it. And you can use it as if it's one of the out-of-box native visualization or widget. And that's the beauty of a lot of extended things that we provide. For example, custom visualization, and I can give you a quick look at it. So we have a lot of custom visualizations that we uploaded to the catalog, and our partners, you can see our partners all help us to contribute to our catalog as well. So you can download them and import that to Cognos. As a user, as a Cognos user, either the consumer persona or author persona, to them, they're just like a out-of-the-box native widget. They do not behave any differently. They provide the same interactivity. You can author them the same way. They can be customized the same way as using the properties. And you can see on the left-hand side, there are so many different categories of things that you can download. So I mentioned extension, and here's that what if scenario extension here. These are all available, lots of interesting ideas. And some of them eventually will become out-of-the-box functionality. once we have extended them to work and support more use cases. All right, so let's take a look at this what if analysis. You can see that I have a base, a visual. I have a visualization helping me to understand, and I can start playing with the quantity. Like what kind of percentage increase will help me to hit target? You can play around with these things, very interesting, right? And how is that going to compare to the base? All right, so I just showed you a very easy, quick way to create a dashboard. I'm going to now go ahead and focus on this visualization. You can see that I can bring any visualization into focus mode and then be able to do more with it. For example, I can enable auto insights here. And if that's not enough, what I can do is bring it into another component called exploration. So this is AI infused component that's going to help me to gain deeper insights. So once a visualization is brought over in here, you can see on the right-hand side, that's the statistical information generated, presented in natural language. Okay? And on the top, I can also choose to have a different visual to represent data, or look at what are the related data to this visualization. And or I can compare this visualization in parallel to something else. I can use different filters to compare this visualization. I have systems suggesting that I can compare parts to whole. I can compare this visualization by swapping out another visual in here. So a lot of things I can do through compare as well. Not going to go too much into the detail. I just realized I'm almost really behind. On the left-hand side, you can see here's a badge. This is where I can click and then see what are some of the other fields, other data points that could be related to what I'm analyzing. So here, I was focusing on revenue. And from here, I'm able to see what other combinations of factors help drive revenue. And you can see there are different bubbles, different size representing different information. And when it's blue color, it means there's one driver drives the outcome. And when there is the green, it means it's a combination of factors that drives it. We click on the bubble on the bottom. That is a preview of a visualization that can be used to visually show you the relationship. And when I click into it, it brought me into this focus screen. And this is the decision tree. It goes from one single node, branch out to multiple nodes, each represent mutually inclusive, exclusive event has happened to lead to the conclusion. What you can do is often customers will have a lot more nodes with your data. You can easily focus on top 5 or bottom 5. You can switch to a sunburst diagram, which is another variation of the decision tree. And if you are more of a detailed record person like me, you may want to focus on what are the rules, specific rules, and the number of records were sampled. There are many options here for you. Now, that's not the only way you could use our exploration. You could start with the visualization, want to know more, or you can just come to data saying, I don't know what I want to look at, but I want to focus on maybe gross profit. So when you click on that, we're going to use that as a focus point and show you what are other things that might be related to it. So I can focus on retailer type or gross profit. And on the right-hand side, the visualization is going to be generated for me to help me to better understand.
All right, Rachel, whenever you finish this thought, we might want to jump into questions. We're starting to get short on time here.
Okay, so I'm gonna do just one more thing here. What I'll do is to choose a visualization that's created for me, and I'm going to bring it to reporting because I still want to just quickly talk about reporting. So now let's say I have created a visualization by using Explore, the recommended visualization for me. The journey doesn't just stop here. You can copy paste visualization from exploration into a dashboard, or you can create a report. You can bring it into a report to do further analysis. So here I'm going to bring that into our report editing tool, and I'm going to choose a blank template, and all you need to do is simply copy paste. I'm using the shortcut key on my keyboard. So when I do this, the data is going to be brought over on the left-hand side, as well as the information that's used for this visualization. And from here, I can also continue to author in what we're calling it a design mode right now, because I know exactly the data I want to use, and I have no time for it to keep refreshing to get data from the database. So what I'm going to do is to I'll show you how quickly I can create a visualization by just double click. Since it's already focused, now it's all done. Let me flip to a preview mode. So what I just used as a second visualization, this is one of the custom visualization, and you can see I can interact with it. I can create filters with it. A lot of things I can do on this visualization. We have also, I guess there are only 3 minutes left. We have also added a data container called data table, which is aimed as client-side, browser-side rendering to provide very fast performance. So maybe someone can, let's start answering some questions when I'm authoring this table. So Ryan or someone, do you want to read out some questions for me and I can answer?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So great job on the demonstration there, Rachel. I think that was very informative. So the first thing we're going to do is actually launch a poll that we have here. And the spirit of this poll is to learn what version of Cognos everyone is on. So we'll go ahead and launch that. We've got multiple options here for you. We've got R7, R6, R1 through R5, going down to 11.0 or older, or those that don't have Cognos today, and perhaps this is your first time seeing it or the first time seeing it in a while. So while that poll is populating with some responses, we'll get to some questions. The first question I have for you here is, it's no secret that the BI tool landscape has grown exponentially over the past decade plus. And many of those new tools that have come onto the scene are really focused on that self-service user experience. So how is IBM focusing their investment going forward between serving the needs of their governed enterprise reporting customers versus those needs of the evolving needs of the analysts that are more geared towards self-service? Did we lose you, Rachel?
Sorry, I'm sorry, I was muted. I'm good?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. So that was a great question. I don't say it just because everyone on camera seems to start answering with that. It is a great question because we've been challenged a lot in this area, and we challenge the market in this area a lot too. Why do I say that? I'd say about 5 or 8 years ago, there was a huge market shifted from IT-focused buying agenda to business-focused buying agenda. A lot of smaller vendors came out with focusing on just self-service and selling it to targeting business only. And that's a market shift, and everyone liked it. However, a few years after that, there is I would say acknowledgement that that model alone isn't going to work. It doesn't work perfectly. You still need some governance, right? The whole time, Cognos hasn't just bluntly followed the market shift, say, okay, now we're only focusing on self-service. The entire time, what we've done is we acknowledge there has to be a focus. We have to invest in self-service, but governance is important. I'd say the latest trend in the last couple of years, if you read analyst reports or if you read about financial news, most of the analysts would tell you self-service alone isn't enough. You need IT and business to work together. And that's what we see a lot lately as well, is that we meet with IT as well as business together on the table to show them what the solution we have. Now, a lot of customers, most of the customers we deal with, they absolutely look for a solution that can provide business with the self-service capabilities they need, as well as the governance, the compliance, everything the company needs as well. What we have been is we know we've always been great at governance as enterprise reporting solutions. What we were behind is the self-service capability. So we did heavily invest in those, at the same time making sure our reporting solution, our governance does not fall behind either. What we really like in going forward is we still believe in that we need to satisfy all personas, all agendas, all use cases in one place, in one tool, instead of with some vendors, you have to buy separate tools and you have to set up integration. Some works cloud only, some works on-prem only. You have to try to figure out how to get them to talk. We believe we think that's a nightmare. And what we're saying is, to answer your question, we are investing in all. And Gartner itself also said enterprise reporting is very important, and they're very happy to see us able to continue invest and bring enterprise reporting forward with adding a lot of self-service capability with AI into Cognos, with data science and everything.
Excellent. That's absolutely in line with what we're seeing in the marketplace too as an implementer. So I think that was an excellent answer. We've got some quick hit questions here. We've got 3 minutes left. We'll try to hit as many as we can. So what kinds of things can be done to tune data modules and data sets?
Well, that is that question is a little bit high level. So when you say tune, are you talking about performance? Are you talking about data cleaning? So there are a lot of options you can do. And for data set alone, so let's talk about data set. I know Ryan's going to have a deeper dive session tomorrow. That's probably a better place to answer that. It's probably going to take a long time to answer. But for data set alone, in the last release, we opened it up to allow you to do query manipulation within data set. So if you have very specific needs on how the tables should be joined, how the query should be processed, you could absolutely do more modification. We've also done in 11.1.7 is to make query planning much more efficient. So a lot of things you don't have to do that we're doing it for you to increase performance. Sometimes giving you a lot of option is necessary, but we also want to make sure by default out of the box, we give you better performance release to release, so you don't have to do a lot of tuning.
Excellent. Another couple questions here. We've got a minute or so. Can you use explorations against planning analytics data sources and cubes?
We are currently working on it. So in the next version that's coming out, forecasting will be supported on OLAP data sources, which including planning analytics cubes. And our focus area is to bring all our AI smart capabilities into supporting OLAP data source. So today, exploration doesn't work very well with the planning cubes, with TM1 data source, but that work is in progress. We are already at, say, very close to fully supported. But the first thing you're going to see is the forecasting support coming out.